I would like to title my sermon today, Respect and Honor. Respect and honor. It is Memorial Day weekend 2017. Are you listening to Big Hannah Elizabeth? Huh? There you go, girl. Listen to the Word of God. It'll help you and do you good too. This is Memorial Day weekend. It is a federal holiday in the United States of America where we remember those who have died while serving their country. There will be all kind of things happening tomorrow around this nation. There will be people putting on all type of events in light of this. There will be flowers being put out. There will be graves visited. There will be a whole lot of stuff going on tomorrow while a whole lot of people are having fun skiing at the beach. And I'm not saying they're bad people because they're skiing and at the beach. I've been at the beach before on Memorial Day, all right? I will eat tomorrow. I'm hoping that my son Micah and my brother fries fish like we're planning on it, all right? Right now, we're going to have to fry the goldfish because they hadn't caught any fish. But anyway, that being said, you know, can I eat that goldfish? He's done got pretty big, oh baby. Anyway, that being said, that doesn't make you a bad person, okay? You need to enjoy life. But you need to know why you get to enjoy life. Just for the record, not what I read in a textbook at school, okay? Not that version of it. Not what I heard somebody say on television, not that version of it, but you need for yourself. And it's so easy today. I had to go to the library years ago to study subjects like this. Now it's at my fingertips, Scotty. You can just, if you dig deep enough, you'll get past opinions. You'll get past fake history. You'll get down to what really happened and find documents that have been saved over the years. This country that you live in, with all of its evils, okay? I'm not saying this is the most righteous group of people on planet Earth, okay? Because we're not. We have abortion, we murder children, and it can go on. I can tell you a lot of atrocities the United States of America has participated in, okay? So I'm not blind to that fact. But this is my country, and there was a group of very brilliant men that founded this country. Brave and brilliant. You need to go study the ones I always posted on 4th of July, and that tells you exactly what happened to all of the 55 men that signed the Declaration of Independence. They were not ignorant farmers, as you would have been had to believe. They were brilliant men, most of them wealthy men. And if you really do some studying about some, it is amazing what the children, we think school is hard today. I know when we watch Little House on the Prairie, all of them's in there trying to spell out A for apple, okay? That's not exactly how it was back then. They had extreme lessons. It would blow your mind to find out what a 12-year-old had to know in the 1700s. It would blow your mind, all right? And so get down and find out how this country come about. It didn't just happen. The people that burned the flag, which is against the law, by the way, they need to be put in jail for an endless period of time, in my personal opinion. It is against the law. The reason they can burn that flag is because there were some people that signed their blood and they died, them and their families, on the Declaration of Independence. Are you aware that the British Empire, there's that saying, the sun never sets on the British Empire? The reason that came into being is because it was a fact. At one time, they controlled 70% of the known earth. If you don't believe me, charter you a jet. Hop around the islands, hop around the places of the world, and you'll hear the British accent still today in 2017 in many, many places you go, all right, because of that influence. They just left control of India in 1947. Because the only reason they left is because the world wars had broke England. And so India is the largest populace of humanity on planet Earth. And they let it go because of financial reasons. My point being is, did you know that the American mindset, the patriots that started this country, we were the first kingdom that it blew their minds. They could not process the fact that they could not beat a bunch of people that just would not quit. They couldn't process it. How do you know that, Brother Scotty? Read about what we call the War of 1812. How many knows what that war was about? Anybody here know what it's about? It's the second Revolutionary War. It should have been called what it really was, but we got this problem in America. We don't like to call things what they are. We don't call drunks drunks no more. They're sick with a disease called alcoholism. The Bible doesn't teach that. How many sicknesses can you go in a store and buy? Huh? You can go in there and support your habit and your sin, all right? But you can tote a bottle of alcohol around all your life and you won't get drunk. You feel me? All right. So I'm very glad that we now have a president that will actually call one of our wars, one of our many wars, what it is. We're under attack by radical Islamic terrorists. It is what it is, all right? And so it is a fact. Just quit watching the news and you might find that out, all right? This country, we have people right now doing things you don't know about, people dying right now to keep us safe. All right? Better to go to them. I know a lot of people say we need to keep our nose out of this and nose out of that. Well, slow down, just slow. Whoa. Had you rather go there or them come here? They've come here. Did you know the bloodiest war? How many knows the bloodiest war of where it took place at? The bloodiest, most gory war, or battle, I should say, not war, but battle, that took place in World War II. How many knows where it was at? Mr. Tate, he was a Marine. Don't give it away. Anybody else know where it was at? It was in Alaska. Why? Because they all want what we got. Because we got something special. What makes us special? There's two special countries on this planet. One of them's Israel. God created Israel because He loved them so much. What's so special about us? You flip the other side of that coin. This country was created because people loved God so much. And they all want what we got. They claim that we hate America. We hate their money. Well, I promise you they all like their money because they can't function without it. All right? And so please, say, Brother Scotty, you're very passionate about this subject. Yes, I am. I know what it took to get here. And we need to be aware and teach our children not to take things for granted that they have, that they are. I don't care if they're walking barefooted on a hot highway and feeling sorry for themselves. They need to thank God that this highway's hot, that the sun's shining on me, and thank God I got feet to walk on. It's because of some other folks that died for me. Mark, Mickey, and Deborah's dad served in the Korean War. My grandparents, I've told you this, you'll hear it again until I'm dead and gone, or as long as I'm a preacher here, you will hear this occasionally. My great-grandparents, on my daddy's mama's side, Mr. Bob Manning, had 5 sons, 2 son-in-laws, a 17-year-old grandson, which was my daddy's oldest brother, and a nephew in World War II at the same time. The nephew, Ivan Manning, Mr. Early Manning, Uncle Early Manning's son, he died at 18 years of age. All the rest of them came home. He died at 18 years of age on the last day of World War II because of friendly fire.
I had 3 brothers.
3 brothers. The problem we got is Miss Merlene, and Mr. Tate. That generation's dying off. They know what it took. But somehow we have no passion about the fact that we have this country. I can promise you, next time I go out of the country to a third world country, you should go with me. You should sit 6 hours in an airport about 6 feet from a 16-year-old with a machine gun strapped to him. You don't move real fast. Everything you do it kind of slow. He's there to protect me from his own people. His own people, they got a line drawn at some airports, and if you ain't flying in or out, you don't come in. They don't announce it. They don't say, don't come in now like we do here in America. Please don't come here. No, they don't announce anything. Because if you step over that piece of tape, they just shoot you and drag you and throw you out. There's no court. There's no hearing. There's no discussion. That's just the way it is. Every place ain't like America. You know why America's like it is? Because we have men and women that have shed their blood, died for this country. And we need to know that. Now, you may wonder why I have this verse on the screen. Whosoever rewardeth evil, the word evil, whether it be in the Old Testament Hebrew or the New Testament Greek, it means bad. Okay? It just means bad. Bad in the concept, if I was to walk back here and just slap Melissa upside the head because she hadn't hugged me and I hadn't seen her in a while, okay? Those of you that are watching my video, I'm not going to slap Melissa. I'm just making a point, all right? Just glad to see her today, so I got to shake her up a little bit, all right? That's bad. That would be terrible, actually. It also means bad, as in Hitler and the Holocaust that actually really happened. And what you need to also know, he didn't just kill 6 million Jews. He killed 20 million Russians and a whole bunch more folks that didn't like the way they looked. Why? Because he was a lunatic. That's why we had to get in World War II. If we had not got in World War II, they were coming here. Why? How do you know? Do y'all remember a thing called Pearl Harbor? Scotty just came from there. There's evidence over there. It happened. 20, 30 years from now, they want it to be the textbooks. Every year they change them, and soon, oh, we just love everybody. Well, let me tell you about a place that they don't love you. There's a whole lot of places on this planet you can go and say, I'm for tolerance and love. Okay, they'll go try that out, see how that works on them. Whosoever rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. This right here verse will explain to you why there's some places and some people that cannot ever be blessed. So, Brother Scotty, that don't really... No, God said exactly what He meant, and He meant exactly what He said. When you throw tomatoes at 18-year-old boys that get off of an airplane, they can't help Vietnam was a political mess and the politicians of America got wealthy over it. They can't help that they got a card in the mail and they went. So you throw tomatoes at them, you burn their flag, and then you call me crying because you got a problem. I can't help it. I didn't write the Bible. And that generation that threw them tomatoes, they're crazy.
Amen. Amen on that.
I have a first cousin that went over there, and thank God he came home. I had another boy his same age, Johnny Hare, that was raised with us like brothers. Rudy knows him. Rudy can take you to where he was buried at. He was buried right next door where Rudy lived, matter of fact. You can see Johnny Hare's grave from where Rudy was raised. My Boatner cousin, Rudy Boatner, right back here. We buried him Thanksgiving of 1971. I was 10 years old, Wayne Beckham. Wasn't a real happy Thanksgiving. Have you ever been to a military funeral where they died? I mean, died in battle and brought them back here? I'm talking about one of them kind. You ever been to one of them? You need to go to one if you hadn't been to one. My first cousin came home on furlough. I think what they used to call it. What they used to call it? Furlough, Mr. Taylor. So anyway, he came home for 30 days. He had a bad truck wreck. Randall, up by Tim Boatner and Uncle Obie and them. We went up there to check on him. He was sitting on the front porch of Mr. Henry Drew's house, squalling like a baby, an 18 or 19-year-old boy. And here's what he told me. I was his cousin. He's 10 years older than I am. He said, I wish it had just killed me, so I have to go back. But you know what? He went back. Why? Because that was the right thing to do. Yep. You honor people that bless you. I don't care what you think about who's at the White House. When you see somebody in their military clothes, you tell them thank you. Don't spit on them. Don't throw nothing at them. Don't talk about them. I'm giving you some good advice. You honor them. You walk up to them and tell them thank you, because they're not getting paid enough. Now, the people that's sending them over there is getting way overpaid. You know why our senators in Congress like to be on committees? You ever wonder why they want to be on all them committees? All that extra work. You need to do some checking. And just like Solomon said, it'll go back to money somewhere. Every committee you own, you get a check for. But they sleep well at night. Some of them don't, but most of them do. We need to honor. We need to do good unto those that have done good. Right. Somebody helps you, and you get on your feet and you forget about them. I had a friend before I met Jesus. And this principle, by the way, is for everybody on planet Earth. It's just the law of God. It's not just for Christians, more so for us, but it's for everybody. This is a smart thing to do or not do. I don't care if you're not saved, ain't never been to church. I had a friend of mine when I was running around and acting like an idiot before I met Jesus. This particular friend, his parents didn't care much for him. So how do you know that? Well, because they never bought him anything, never gave him any money. They drank all their money up, and he didn't have anything. So Micah, when I come in from Riverboat, I had a pocket full of money because I was making twice as much money as all my friends. Back then, in 1979, Ronnie can tell you, a deckhand made as much as they make today, actually. So I went by and picked him up. 30 days I was home, Melissa, he didn't have to buy anything. I bought everything, all of our accessories. Y'all can read into that what you want to. But you know what happened, Deb? Brother Jimmy, one Saturday night, I said, hey, I've got to get to the airport tomorrow. I've got to fly to Memphis to catch a boat. And I said, you can take me. He said, yeah. I had a brand new 1979 Grand Prix Pontiac. He said, well, what time are you going to come by the house? I said, I'll be there at 5. He said, whoa. Now, 5 p.m.? I said, no, 5 a.m. He said, and it was Sunday, and he wasn't going to go to church. It was already about 2 a.m. at this point in time, all right? So I said, I got to have somebody take me to the airport. Unfortunately, I assumed that my friend that I paid for everything for 30 days, 6 months of the year of his life would just be no problem. He said, I can't take you. You know, back then you had to go back and forth to the boat, to the air. It ain't like it is now where they rent you a car and stuff. Ain't no telling how many trips me and Mark Brillo made to pick up Wayne and Kenny. I mean, we've gone. Mark called me and said, hey, I got to go. And me. I was going to try not to remind you of that, Mark. Anyway, all right. So, you know, and so he wouldn't take me. Just flat out, Rudy would not take me. You know where he's at today? Not going to tell you. It ain't at church. But I went to another friend of mine at midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, that was still up down at the A&J where we hung out. And he said, come by and pick me up. Everybody that you think's your friend ain't your friend. But I tell you what, them folks that sign on that dotted line and go over here and die for you that you don't even know, they your friends. And somewhere today or tomorrow, you tell somebody why they get to go skiing. You tell somebody why they get to go barbecue. You tell somebody why we're able to have a family gathering today, because there are people that have honored us and they've given their life and they've died for us. Go with me if you would now so you honor the people that need to have honor. You be good to people that's been good to you. If they've been good to you, I don't care how mad you are at them today, you be good to them. You better not let your temper get you in this verse there. You don't want to get up in this verse right here. I can tell you this verse right here is a verse you want to avoid at all costs. You want to read it and obey it. Because I can tell you right now that I've lived long enough. I'm 56 years old, and I see this verse in some people's lives. It don't matter, Jessica, how much I pray for them, because I know some things they've done and some people that have given them everything, and they've just pretty much spit on them, and they up in this verse right here. I can pray, I can fast, I can give them money, and they can't get out of this verse. I wouldn't get in this verse if I was you. I'd avoid it. Go with me, if you would, now to Romans chapter number 13, verse 7. One more verse. What time is it? I forgot to poke my timer. You see this verse here? Render therefore all to their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due, custom to whom custom is due, fear to whom fear is due, honor to whom honor is due. You will become what you honor. Just let that sink in a second. You will become what you honor, what you allow, what you respect. It will become your value system. And if you don't have a values system in your life, you're headed down a very dark road. If you honor your marriage, you'll have a good marriage. If you don't, you won't. If you will honor your church, church will be good for you. Instead of you worrying about who's not here, who's not there, who's not doing this, you do what God called you to do. You honor it, God will honor you. So we have to give honor to whom honor is due, because you get what you honor. If people have been good to you, you be good to them. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've told you this story a bunch of times. Boy come over to our work yard and wanted to part off of a 3-wheeler. They don't make them no more because they're old and out and all against the law and all that stuff. Got four-wheelers now. I said, who is it? And he told me. I said, well, what does he want? I think it was either Matthew or Micah. Might have been both of them on speakerphone. I said, do we need that three-wheeler for anything? To go the rest of the stuff that's piled up there that we don't need? And Micah or Matt said, nope, none of us are going to ride that. Our young'uns ain't going to ride it. They're not safe. The three-wheeler. And I mean, you just couldn't find the particular kind we had. Obviously, you just couldn't find anywhere, Deb. And this particular boy, I said, give him the whole three-wheeler. And the boys don't question me. They said, Daddy, just curiosity, you know, I mean, we don't need it. I said, it ain't got nothing to do with him. It's got something to do with the fact when I was y'all's age, his daddy helped me when I could not help myself and never charged me a dime. If I needed to borrow a skill saw, if I didn't know how to hook up something electrically, if I was stuck in a ditch, his daddy and his daddy's brother, those two men helped me when I could not help myself. I said, give him the whole three-wheeler. And when no one else would be there or had the capacity to do whatever I needed done. I'm here to tell you, you cannot go wrong by honoring people. Recently, got involved in a situation, the individual died, and it was a very complicated situation, very sad situation. And unfortunately, this gentleman's life was just messed up from the word go. He died with it messed up. But he did one thing. He didn't get drafted. He joined the Navy years ago. He served this country. And me and my family saw to it that he is in a veterans memorial now because he served. He didn't do anything else that I know of right. Knew him a long time. But he served this country. He stood under this flag and served this country. So he is now in a place that's dedicated and sanctified to honor our men and women that have served this country. There's places that you honor people in context. You may not can function with nothing else to do, but you have to honor them in the context in which they are. So, whatever you honor is what you'll become. Whatever you tolerate is what you'll become. So, honor the men and women that serve this country. Honor those that have fought. Honor the families of those that have lost loved ones. Pray for them. Tell your children why we're here. It is Memorial Day. It's not the day we go to the beach. We can go to the beach because we're honoring, Deborah, those that have lived and died under the American flag. See that flag right there? You know why we have it? Because somebody shed some blood. That flag over there, you know why we have it? Because Jesus Christ shed some blood and a whole bunch more folks too. You know why we have this book here? Go read your King James Bible history. Read a Bible history. You know why we have it, Scotty? People shed blood. They hid it. People were killed trying to hide this, Deborah, so we could have an English-speaking Bible. And I'm honored that my cousin Bean, he's joined the Marines. God will put his angels around him and take care of him. And I'm proud of him. Why? Because this country cost somebody something. And so you need to honor that. And I promise you. You see, I see people that have all kind of blessings in their life. And people ask me, say, I don't understand them. They're so blessed. And this over here, their stuff's messed up, You know what I tell them? I say, somewhere, someplace back down the road in their life, they honored something that God has not forgot about. And if you feel like God has forgotten you today, you go home and you read Acts chapter 10. His name is Cornelius. He was a big giver and he gave a bunch and he did this, and he sat and he waited. And after a while, the Bible says that his giving came up as a memorial before God. God said, now it's time. And he opened the heavens above him and blessed him. He wasn't a perfect man, but he was a giving man. And God honored him. You wait long enough, God ain't forgot about you. I don't care how lonely you feel. God ain't forgot you. He ain't forgot you. He's got it all wrote down. You honor him, he will honor you somewhere, some way, someday. God pays his bills. Amen. And he wrote the book. With every head bowed, every eye closed. Father,